Welcome back to Pharma Info with Shubhashish. Today's topic is synthesis of acetazolamide, right? Now, if we just try to figure out the category in which, or the pharmacological category in which acetazolamide belongs, straightway we'll just write it's a diuretic, right? Now, what is the diuretic? Diuretics they are especially meant for hypertensive condition, right? So that means they are especially how they are exerting their action. They're just reducing the plasma volume, right? And if the plasma volume gets reduced, what will happen? Definitely there is a significant drop in the pressure, which has already been found to be quite higher, right? Okay. Thereby, diuretics they are especially act as an antihypertensive. We'll not go in deep the mechanism, the other pharmacological aspects of acetazolamide, because our intention is to deal with the synthesis of acetazolamide, right? Okay, so basically blindly there are several other uses are there of acetazolamide, but the principal use is it is a diuretic, especially it is acting on carbonic anhydrase, right? Carbonic anhydrase, and it prevents the splitting of carbonic acid, and as a result of it what is happening, okay, pharmacologically, right? Chalo. So now it is basically a carbonic anhydrase inhibitors, okay, and by inhibiting the carbonic anhydrase it just prevents the splitting of what carbonic acid, and thereby definitely if the carbonic acid is found to be splitted in a slowest manner, what does it mean? That means there is an increased level of carbonic acid which reduces the pH and thus helps in the subsequent process, right? Chalo. Now the synthesis of acetazolamide. Now before getting into the synthesis, let us just deal with the structure. Let us spend few moments of the structure of acetazolamide. So acetazolamide, aceta means acetyl, okay, T-azo. Now if we just try to refine this T-azo, means thiazo, okay, thia plus azo, right? T-azo means thia, and zolamide, mide means MIDE, right? MIDE means amide, AMIDE, right? That means amide, okay. It may be something like CONH2, it may be something like SO2NH2 as well, right? Okay, let us see what is what. So these are the information that we got from from the name itself, right? Now with all these information, let's just try to assemble them in a suitable manner so that we can land up to a platform where we can find the structure of acetazolamide, right? Chalo. So acetazolamide, as I said, ki thioazo, okay, in a 5-member twin system, right? So how this can be presented like this. So this is the raw structure of thiadiazole, right? Chalo. We'll just put double bond, make it aromatic, right? Now, what next? The substituents, where exactly they are placed. As I said, ki amide, right? Chalo, so amide dekh lete hai, something like this. Now, it is let me just tell you one interesting fact, that acetazolamide is the one which possesses or which holds both the amides, sulfamoyl at the same time carbamoyl, right? Chalo. So अब देखते हैं now what is happening to this. This is in the form of H3C. Then okay, I should write here CO, or else I can just make it like this, right? So with that we are done with the structure of acetazolamide. So here, as I said earlier, that yes, it possesses, or it is holding basically two different types of amides, right? This is also a sulfamoyl group, this is a carbamoyl group, right? Okay. So now the thing is that this is in the form of acetamido. Can it be called as acetamido? Yes, of course, because CH3CONH2, if we just try to hide this portion, right, and just complete this one, this will become something like this, right? Okay. So now the thing is that, so in that case we can call it as, this would have been called as acetamide, right? So here acetamide is in the form of a substituent, right? Where exactly it is placed? If we just start numbering from this sulfur, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So it is the position 5 that is holding what? The substituent as acetamido. I'll just figure it out. So this is acetamido. right? Acetamido, and this is what? This is 1,3,4 thiadiazole. So this is 1,3,4 thiadiazole, right? What is left in the process? 2. 2 is holding what? Sulfonamide, or if we just split the sulfonamide and just try to figure out the name, how the name will be. Okay, the name is, we have a, suppose we don't have any NH2. Simply we'll focus on this SO2. The SO2 is nothing but sulfonyl, and this is called, if we are just considering simply NH2 which is connected to SO2, that is called as ajanide. Okay, you can straightway call it as sulfonamide, 1,3,4 thiadiazole sulfonamide, or in other words, or you can just call it as sulfonyl azanide. So if we just try to assemble these informations, okay, how this will become, right? So this is 5. We should initiate the process with 5 acetamido, then 1,3,4 thiadiazole, we are done with this. Then what is left in the process? Sulfonyl azanide. Clear? Now, something missed out in the process. It is a sulfonamide, right? We are not supposed to consider this as a substituent. We are not supposed to consider this as a parent, right? Rather substituent. So I should write it in this form. That means after writing 1,3,4 thiadiazole, I should write 2-yle. This is second position, right? Substituent 2-yle, then followed by sulfonyl azanide. So this should be in a within a bracket, right? That means this should be kept in the parenthesis, right? What is that? That is 1,3,4 thiadiazole 2-yle. And after that, once we are done with this 2-yle substituent, right? That is why 2-yle, and then sulfonyl azanide. So this is how it looks, the nomenclature looks, right? Now, let's move further, right? Okay. We should start the, put the bracket, or we should put the bracket here only at the initial, once we are initiating the process, right? So this is, we'll start the bracket from here, 5 acetamido. Here also this is acting as a substituent. Then 1,3,4 thiadiazole 2-yle, bracket closed, and then sulfonyl azanide, right? Chalo. So with that we are done with what? With that we are done with the structure as well as IUPAC name of what? IUPAC name of acetazolamide. Now we'll see that how this can be made actually. What should be the synthetic route through which we can get sulfonamide. For that, for our convenience, we'll just put keep the the one which we are going to make, that is the structure of sulfonamide here, right? This is for our convenience. Or we can say this is found to be the road map rather, right? Okay. Every now and then this will help us out. What about this? This is SO2 NH2. Now let us find that what are the places which are vulnerable towards splitting or breaking rather, because because it's nothing but we have assembled so many fragments in a chemical way, in a chemical way. So after assembling them in a chemical way, we got the structure of sulfonamide, right? Or rather this sulfonamide derivatives and all, right? Okay. So now the thing is that let us find the areas which are vulnerable towards breaking. What are the areas, right? Let us find. Let me just take another color, okay? This is the area. Fine. Okay. What about this? Okay. Then this could be another area, right? We can acetylate amino if amino is there, right? Okay, this is the area, right? Which can also be inserted, right? Suppose if we just try to cultivate with this particular sulfonamide. So if we have something like this SH, okay, SH, what I should do, I can just chlorinate this. This will become SO2Cl, right? And what is left in the process? Simply aminating it in presence of ammonia, I can get SO2NH2. This is the way through which I can get this kind of stuff, right? Chalo. So and this is, what about this NN? When N is the proximal neighbor of another N. Okay, the kind of structure, the kind of compound in which we can find this particular arrangement is nothing but hydrazine. Hydrazine hydrate, right? Okay, chalo. So this is about this. Now the thing is that okay, now let us move to this area, and we are left with this particular area, right? Okay, that means carbon, nitrogen, sulfur. Okay, now let us find that this particular fragment, how this can be completed, right? Or how this can be this can become a full compound, right? Suppose we have a fragment which is something like this, a raw structure. This is not chemically correct, right? But the raw structure, right? So the shape which can be given to this particular structure is something like this. If we just put something like this, S minus and then NH4 plus, it will become what? Ammonium thiocyanate. Ammonium thiocyanate. So what I did actually, so this is the carbon, nitrogen, sulfur. When carbon is flanked with sulfur and nitrogen, this particular compound, okay, it will be a part of ammonium thiocyanate. Ammonium thiocyanate. So these are found to be the raw information which you need to gather, right? Gather prior initiating a particular process, prior getting into the main groove, right? Chalo. Or in the synthesis, right? So these are the informations, right? Now, so let us just initiate the process. So we have with us, we got what are the fragments or what are the compounds, what are the modified fragments that we have developed. One is found to be the acetylation. How this can be done? With in presence of acetic anhydride, the suitable agent, right? So we have with us something like this. This can be one of the reagent, right? Acetic anhydride. We are done with this. What about this fragment? Yes, we have completed this one and just we have given it a shape like ammonium thiocyanate, right? What about this? This 2 nitrogen, we have given it a shape which corresponds to hydrazine, right? What about this? Yes, just now we found the way, okay, or we have we have developed a way, right, through which we can get this kind of SO2NH2. SH, sulfohydryl, followed by chlorination, this is your sulfonyl chloride, and then after once we get the sulfonyl chloride, after aminating it, we can get sulfamoyl. That means sulfonamide or sulfonyl azanide, right? The one which we found while dealing with this nomenclature, right? The IPC naming and all. Okay. Now let us move. Okay, let's just begin the process, right? Let us just begin the process. Chalo. So initially, what we should do, we should bring what? Hydrazine, at the same time ammonium thiocyanate. Let's see that will there be any reaction, right? Is there any possibility that we can react them all together, right? Chalo. So now let us just put here H2N and H2, okay? And I'm just trying to react this H2 and NH2, that is hydrogen, with ammonium thiocyanate. So we have with us something like this. As I said, ki chalo S minus and we have NH4 plus, right? Okay. Yes, there is a possibility. Okay. Yes. After getting reacted, so what should be the product that that is likely to be formed, right? So NH, what next? C double bond S, here also C double bond S, then H2N, okay? That means this is thiocarboxamide kind of things, right? We have 2 thiocarboxamide. This is basically CONH2. If we just try to call it as CONH2, if we just try to look on CONH2, this is carboxamide. And if I just try to replace the oxygen with sulfur, what will happen? This will become thiocarboxamide. So we have 2 thiocarboxamide. So that means the way by which this can be presented is bis thiocarboxamide. Where exactly they are placed? 1 and 2. Right? So this is basically hydrazino. This is basically hydrazino because still the hydrogen portion is there intact, right? Nitrogen is found to be the immediate neighbor of this nitrogen, right? And that is why hydrazino 1, 2, bis. Then close the bracket. Within the bracket, you should write thiocarboxamide. Thus, we have got the first intermediate, right? Chalo. So we got the first intermediate. Where I have kept this one. Okay, here. Chalo. So with that, we have got the first intermediate, and it looks like this, right? It looks like this. Now, What next actually? Next, what will happen? What is expected rather? What is expected? So in presence of suppose ki in presence of COCl2, carbonyl chloride, because with the help of this carbonyl chloride, no, I need to close this ring. Ring closure has to be taken place. Ring closure, right? चलो अब देखते हैं कार्बोनिल क्लोराइड को यहाँ पे आगे लाते हैं, मतलब COCl2. Okay, what this COCl2 will do, right? COCl2 will make this particular thing like this. I'll just put it again in black color. So, okay. Yeah. We got something like this, right? So we got something like this. How? Nitrogen, nitrogen. So nitrogen, nitrogen. Carbon, 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 carbon. To that carbon, one amino is there. To that carbon, one amino is there. To the same carbon, sulfur is there. To the same carbon, sulfur is there. What about the other end? The carbon with the sulfur got transformed into mercapto. The sulfur, which is linked to this carbon, got converted to or gets converted to mercapto. What about this ammonia? Deamination takes place, or deamination took place, and with that we got what? This thiazole, 1,3,4-thiazole, right? So we have something like 5 amino, 2 mercapto, 1,3,4-thiazole, right? What next? Now what next? As I told you कि हाँ चलो यहाँ पे हम लोगों का क्या है? Acetamido. At position 5 we have acetamido. So only thing remain is we need to acetylate this particular amino, right? So how this acetylation can be done? Simply with the help of acetic anhydride. So चलो अब acetic anhydride को बना लेते हैं यहाँ पे. C double bond O, then again C double bond O. We have methyl here. Acetic anhydride. What this will do? This will just readily acetylate this amino, right? And we got something like this. We got, so after acetylation, okay, this is found to be the intermediate that gets formed, right? Chalo. So with that we have got like this. We are close to the destination rather. Now, what is left in the process? I told you the way by which sulfohydryl or mercapto can be converted into sulfonamide or sulfonyl azanide. How this can be done? So initially what you need to do, chlorine. So what this chlorine will do? The chlorine will make this SH2 SO2Cl, right? Chalo. तो अब बना लेते हैं इसको SO2Cl. Okay. Assume that. Okay. Now I'll just write here H3C, CO, NH. Then sulfur, nitrogen, okay. What about this? This has been converted to SO2Cl. What is left in the process? Then we need to simply ammonia. In presence of ammonia, the same SO2Cl gets converted to SO2NH2. Thus we got what? 5 acetamido, 1,3,4. So what will happen here? After treating this with NH3, this will become SO2Cl will become SO2NH2. Thus we got our final compound, right? That is what? 5 acetamido, then 1,3,4 thiadiazole, 2-yle sulfonyl, after closing the bracket, sulfonyl azanide, right? So with that we are done with the making of what? Acetazolamide, right? Okay, hope you have enjoyed the session. Okay, I have something to say because we just try to brush it up, right? Because this is not fair enough, right, to get. Okay, this is for your understanding. Just hang on for a moment, right? I'll be right back with the synthesis, that too in a single page, right? Hang on, right? Okay, welcome back. So now, as I said, in a single page, how it looks actually. So this is how, this is what we discussed, okay, earlier. So initially what we need to do, we have to take hydrazine, we have to take ammonium thiocyanate, or sometimes this can be called as ammonium rhodanite as well, right? With that we got a bis compound, right? With that we have got a bis compound. So this is, as I said, thiocarboxamide. So this is thiocarboxamide, right? And this is hydrazine, right? So hydrazino, right? This is hydrazino. Okay, chalo. So now with that, now this can be treated with carbonyl chloride, that is COCl2, not cobalt chloride, right? COCl2. So with the help of this COCl2, ring closure took place, and it's the ring closure that eventually leads to the formation of a ring system, right? Of a ring system with amino, and the other end is having a mercaptor group, right? And then what we did, we have acetylated the amino, right? Acetylated the amino with acetic anhydride, right? Thus we got this acetamide portion at position 5. So we are left with the, you know, with the making of, okay, see here, I should write sulfohydryl only, right? Sulfohydryl only, okay, sulfohydryl. And then what we did actually, we have just chlorinated this one, okay, better. So this is, you just put 2 here, and first we just put chlorine here, Cl2 here. So you can just straightway with this 2 reagent, you can just straightway write the structure of acetazolamide, right? Or if we just want to split this one, first you just show that what will happen if chlorine is treated with this particular thing. When chlorine will react with this particular thing, what will happen? As I said, key. So it is out of this one we have got, we can change the sulfohydryl to SO2Cl, right? So once we got SO2Cl, and then the second one, that is ammonia. What this ammonia will do? Ammonia will just convert the SO2Cl, that is sulfonyl chloride, into sulfonamide or sulfonyl azanide, right? So this is how the this is how the preparation took place, or the synthesis took place, okay, or synthesis happened, right, for this acetazolamide. So hopefully you have enjoyed the session, or you have understood the fact and file, right? Okay, and please put it in writing, otherwise you cannot learn, okay, you cannot learn. So with that, I'm concluding today's session. Now stay tuned and wait for the next video to come, and please do subscribe my channel, okay, please do subscribe my channel, so that at least once I upload a particular video, you can get to know, at least you can get the information, yes, the video has already been uploaded, right? Please do subscribe. I am not asking you to like this video and all, but please do subscribe, so that at least, and please put your valuable comments also. Your comments are very much important for my growth actually, not the subscription, rather, because subscription is absolutely free there, but your comments are very important, okay, for me to grow in a suitable manner, in an authentic way, rather, right? Thank you very much. Thank you.